Hello, everybody, and welcome back for a brand new episode of Horrifically Horrifying, presented by the Hollywood Critics Association. My name is Heather Wixson, and I am joined this week by my co-host, Kevin Taft, from the Edge Media Network. Am I correct on that? Yeah, I'm right? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Awesome. I was like, I always try to just remember it. And I'm like, am I remembering it correctly? I'm like, no, that's got to be wrong because I can remember it.
It is
So
correct.
awesome. So welcome back for a brand new week, everybody. We are getting ready to start looking towards a whole big slate of horror coming at us for the rest of the year, with things unofficially kicking off this month with Godzilla and Kong, as well as Mortal Kombat, which comes home in a few days. But May is really where it starts to pick up big time. And I am excited. Right now I'm in the midst of doing a bunch of indie horror stuff because I knew once studios were going to start putting their movies back out in theaters, I knew a lot of those movies are probably going to get overlooked. And so I wanted to, take a little moment to give everybody a little moment in spotlight before, we all start getting excited for Candyman. We should say Candyman 5 times on the show.
Is it 5 times? Yeah,
it's 5 times. So we should see. I mean,
we'll do it at the very end.
Okay.
And then yeah.
I'll cut to black. Okay.
Yeah, well, see, now you spoiled it. I was gonna say we should tell Scott to put in like a little
Oh, okay. Now we've ruined the illusion for everybody.
But watch for it. You never know. It could happen.
We are fun at parties, everybody, obviously.
He might not have to add it in as the problem.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So anyways, we're digging in. This week, as I mentioned, we are seeing the release of Mortal Kombat. I don't know about you. I am super freaking stoked for it. I've seen the first 13 minutes and it was amazing. Totally. Like, I want to say a 180 from the original Mortal Kombat movie, but that doesn't even feel adequate enough. I just rewatched the 95 Mortal Kombat. Did you see it? Did you?
I honestly can't remember.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I wasn't a video game person. Like, mine was like Pac-Man and Atari and stuff. And then when it shifted, I was like college and I didn't play video games. So I know what it is, but I have no connection to it at all. I'm going to watch it for sure.
Yeah.
But I might have seen the original. I might have been just kind of a random, let's go. Maybe I'll be entertained.
It was funny. Well, I was thinking, part of it was sort of that was the same thing for me in 95. Like, I played the arcade game. And it was the one arcade game that I was actually really good at for no particular reason. So I do remember seeing it in theaters. It was funny. The night we were supposed to go, we were on this guy I was with, we were doing a double date with friends of mine. My friends went to Mortal Kombat. We went to Desperado, which was a good choice, which was a really, really good choice. But then the next night I went back to Mortal Kombat because he was a little more intellectual. And therefore Mortal Kombat was sort of not what he was looking for. So whatever. Which is fine because Desperado is amazing, but also I got to see Mortal Kombat the next night. And it's ridiculous and goofy and not awesome, to be honest. I mean, there's some really cool things in it, but it is a mess, but I still love it. But this new one, I can tell you from the first 13 minutes, because it's far more grounded. It's more like grounded fantasy. The action is ridiculous. Like, I was completely blown away. And I love the fact that Joe Taslim, who a lot of people will know from the Raid movies, and he plays Sub-Zero in the movie. They're actually doing a Sub-Zero ornament from Hallmark this year for Christmas.
Wow.
So this year, everybody can put Joe Taslim on the tree. It's a Merry Christmas to us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to watch it. I don't know if I'll go to the theater to see it. I feel like it is a theater movie, but whether I just watch it on HBO Max because I have it, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'd like to see it in theaters or to drive-in at the very least. I'm hoping it'll get paired up with Kong because
that would
they're
be
both
nice.
same studio and stuff. So we'll see. But I do like that you're sort of dressed like you're coming out of sort of what's probably our next big release. Coming at us. You look like you just stepped off the set of Spiral from the Book of Saw, which comes out in May. Are you a Saw fan? Yes.
We've discussed this. No.
Okay.
But I have questions for you because with it coming the 14th, I think it is.
Yes.
The 14th. I'm probably not going to watch them all again. Or okay, scratch that. I've only seen 2 or 3. I can't remember how many I've seen. Again, it's not like when it just gets to be something that has a lot of gore to it, sometimes I just steer clear of it. But I know there are some that are supposed to be better than others. So we'll go with I've seen the first 2. What other ones should I see so that I can kind of have that inside knowledge for the new one?
I think 1, 2, and 3 fit really well together.
Okay.
The thing about Saw though is because there is such a police procedural element to the movies, they all connect through the first 6. I mean, they connect in 7 and in Jigsaw also, but those aren't necessarily as part of what I would consider like the essential Saw. Like 1 through 6 is really where it's at. But if you had to sort of hone it down, I would say 1 through 3 are definitely what you want to go to. And 6 is just phenomenal. 6, I think is actually one of the best in the entire series. It's a bunch of different approaches. It's mostly a flashback with John Kramer, aka Jigsaw, where he's dealing with health insurance companies because he's just been diagnosed with cancer and they don't want to cover him. So it ends up sort of being this takedown on where the health industry is here in America and how callous and horrible it is. But those are the ones. Okay. We're big Saw nerds in our house, so we're very excited. I mean, Jigsaw wasn't great. It was fine. We actually saw it in 4DX of all things.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So that was weird. They offered it and we're just like, oh, okay, sure, whatever, we'll go.
Really?
And it was like us and like 2 other people in the theater, but it was like being on a weird like Saw roller coaster the whole time, and you know, so water spritz at you when there's like blood and stuff. It was interesting. So but it was I think 4DX is kind of fun because it mimics camera movement a lot of the time. So the first one we did was the It Chapter 1.
Oh.
And so there's so many like floating like dolly shots in that movie that it was just like you just kind of felt like you're constantly moving, which was really interesting. So
the only time I did it was for, and you'll be surprised, Venom, because I hadn't seen it.
Oh, and I was like, that's a fun way to watch it.
Maybe that's why I liked it. Like I know, I mean, I'm not a purist either with DC, or is it DC? Yeah.
No, that's Marvel.
It is Marvel. I'm not a purist with it, so like I was just going along with it. I thought it was funny. I thought it was interesting. I mean, and I just liked it. But
I am a Venom fan.
Good. All right. Good.
So did it splash a lot when he went in the lobster tank?
It did a lot. There was a lot of shit going on. I was like, thank God this was a good experience, because it was $30, I think.
Yeah.
Which we didn't know either. And I was like, we're here, we might as well pay for it.
Oh, yeah, it is a stiff price. So but yeah, so that's we're kicking off with the Spiral. So I'm curious to see how that comes together. Yeah. And also I think it's interesting that we're finally getting A Quiet Place 2.
Yeah.
I flew to New York in March of 2020 to cover this movie. Like I saw it like March 2nd. Of 2020. And it was right as everything was happening, because they told us we went into the junket, you're not supposed to touch anybody. Like, don't touch the talent. We could touch each other. We couldn't touch the talent. So I say that lovingly, but we had to save John Krasinski just in case. But it was fun. I mean, it was, but it was so long ago now. So I'm really glad I wrote my review back then, because I'd be in trouble. But it's fun. I actually think in some ways it really improves upon the first.
Good.
I do remember being impressed by it, and I'm pretty sure Cillian Murphy is in it, if I'm remembering correctly. Mm-hmm. Boy, my memory is not what it used to be, but there's some pretty good action set pieces. So
good. Yeah, it looks really good. And what I've heard from a couple other people, the same thing that you said, is that it's good and almost improves a little bit.
Yeah.
So I've been excited for that. I do feel like it's almost anticlimactic now that it's coming out, because the posters have been around town for a year. They still haven't taken them down. They just keep on changing the date.
I know,
I'm like sick of it already. But I'm excited. I loved the first one so much, so I'm excited about that.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm wondering with some of these movies, because I'm sure it'll be fine, and I'm sure there's going to be success, and people are going to make money because everybody wants to get out and watch these movies. But you have to wonder like how much fatigue is going to set in with some people in terms of, I mean, I feel like in general maybe something like Candyman wouldn't probably be affected too much by it because I think so many of us have been so excited for it anyway. But I'm wondering if A Quiet Place 2 might end up being sort of hit by that waiting fatigue
Yeah,
that a lot of
I
movie
wonder.
fans have.
I think so. I think that's a good point.
It'll be curious to see how it all kind of plays out. But I mean, who knows? I mean, Godzilla versus Kong made tons of money, so maybe people are ready, and I just don't know what I'm talking about, which wouldn't be the first time. So,
Well,
so
we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah. And then like I think the week after we get the next Conjuring movie with probably the worst subtitle I've heard in a long
But it
time.
makes sense.
I
It's so
guess.
perfect.
I
I
mean,
don't know. It is a
I
long title.
trust it. I trust it. But like the devil made me do it. Like, okay.
But do you know what that means? Did we talk about this already? If I
No, I
did
don't think
on
we
the
did.
show? Okay, then you can stop me because I don't want to bore our people. So this, I swear I told you this. Man, who was I talking to? Anyway,
Who was I talking to? He
who was I
says.
talking to? This particular case happened in Connecticut, and I'm from Connecticut.
Oh,
So
yes, we did. We did.
we did
Okay,
talk about this,
sorry.
yeah.
Yes.
So, and it was about a guy who said, I killed the person because I was possessed. He literally said the devil made me do it. It's because he pulled the demon out of his girlfriend's little brother who had been possessed for months, and they weren't getting any help from the Rome or whatever.
Yeah.
They weren't getting help. I know they called in the Warrens. So one night, like they were just trying to do it themselves. And he was like, come into me, come into me. And then everything just seemed to settle down. And then some shit happened where he lived, and this incident occurred. And he actually admitted it as his defense. But then they decided to not let any of the investigation about demonic presence and all that go into the court. So he went to jail. I mean, it's a spoiler, but not spoiler because it's all over the internet. But it was also in an episode of A Haunting.
Oh,
And A
okay. I'm
Haunting
sure,
is
and I'm sure they're gonna movie it up a little bit too, because like all of their cases have sort of had a little bit of flexibility in how
You
they're
think?
presented.
You think?
So, I mean,
And I
no,
read the
I mean,
book, and the book is fucking scary.
okay.
It steals a little bit here from there from The Exorcist, a little too much, too close for comfort for me. Like he's always in the bed looking like all like a pig, but then whereas Linda Blair never got out of the bed. If they do it, this kid like runs around and chases after his mother. So it was really creepy. But there's some stuff in the attic. There's some really, really, if they do them, there's unnerving sequences in the book that really freaked me out. And I don't get freaked out easy, but so fingers crossed. But you know what I really hope, speaking of The Conjuring, I mean, I know we've already redone the Amityville once, and then there's been countless sequels, but I would be interested to see them do a Conjuring take on Amityville. I know they brought it up in one of the movies.
Yeah, it was at the beginning of the second one.
Second one, yeah. I would be interested to see.
I think it's because of where the rights for the DeFeo family are. So then they're gonna have to like super fictionalize it. So
kind of want them to just go back to the original. The book is so scary.
Yeah.
I just want them to go, just do the book. Don't add anything. The book is scary enough as it is. You don't need, because I think both the remake and the original were flawed for sure. But they're still entertaining.
Yeah, I like the remake better than the original.
Yeah, I didn't, but I kind of don't remember it. I think
Have you seen the director's cut though?
Oh God, here we go with your director's cut.
I'm serious. Okay, so here's the thing though, because
I'm just kidding you.
Well, it's interesting because like I remember watching Amityville 2005 like on cable, and so it's like, and a lot of the scenes are very truncated. In the director's cut, they really let them breathe. Like the scene when Ryan Reynolds is making his stepson chop wood is like a 2.5 minute sequence, where in like the original cut, it's like 30 seconds of the movie.
Really?
And it is freaking tense. Like it is like your heart feels like it's about to jump out of your chest, like kind of tension, which is what I kind of like about it. It's funny because I'm not like the Amityville movie, like the original, like it's a really well-made movie, great performances, but it kind of bores me.
I rewatched it this year, and I had the same I had the same reaction. I was
And
like, oh, this is kind of boring.
I totally respect the hell out of it for what it does for the time that it was made in. What I like about the 2005 one is that it really sort of opens up elements of where this haunting is coming from specifically. I mean, my biggest quibble with it is the stupid CGI stuff that happens with the girl at the end. I don't need the stinger at this point. Like,
Right.
but like there are some sequences in the 2005 remake that are like legitimately great cinema. Like I think the Chloe Grace Moretz on the roof, which is really her on a real roof, because she's done all of her own stunts like throughout her whole career. So even in that movie, they put that little tiny child on top of a house, which is crazy. The wood chopping scene is ridiculous. And then there's the scene with the hair and the propeller.
Oh, I'll have to go back and look for that one. I
Yeah.
don't remember it that much, honestly.
Yeah. So
I saw
I've
it the day it
always
opened, and that was the last time I saw it.
Oh yeah.
So wait, is it available? The director's cut is available?
Yeah, I have it on DVD. I'm not sure. I don't know which one generally makes its way to streaming platforms. So that's the only difference. Like I don't know if it's on Hulu, if it's going to be the full version.
I mean, they usually say it too. Let
Yeah.
me see if it comes up. 79.
I think it's probably like unrated or extreme or something like that, because they had to put like those cool, clever words.
Right.
For the,
oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing on here. And it's funny because I bought Amityville Horror because it was $4.99 just to buy it, and I think it was $3.99 to rent it. And I'm like, I might as well, just in case I ever wanted to watch it again. I'll have to look that up. Thank you for letting me know about that.
Yeah. And I think there's a little bit more Ryan Reynolds abs.
Never a bad thing.
Never a bad thing. So anyway, we'll go back to movies we're looking forward to. But yeah, I'm always excited for The Conjuring. Of course, I didn't look it up. James is not directing this one, right?
No, and that's what makes me nervous, because it's the Curse of La Llorona, which I thought was terrible.
Okay. Yeah. If that movie would have been called anything else, I probably would have liked it more. It's what I consider fine horror for people who aren't us.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It was super generic. Everything that happened was telegraphed.
Oh, totally. But I love Linda Cardellini. So
yeah.
So like I just focused on her, but yeah,
I did that too.
The ending made me laugh. And I think I said that in my review. I think I gave it it was like a 3 out of 5 stars, because it was like I was entertained. I didn't feel like my time was wasted, but like ultimately, so what? But I did get to hang out with Velma. So
yeah, I would not have given it 3. Did I review it? I don't know if I actually reviewed it. I think I did. But I think my concern is that the other 2 Conjuring movies, they're very aggressive in their scares.
Yeah.
But they're effective. They work. So I didn't think the ones in Curse of La Llorona worked at all. Like I was just kind of like watching them happen. So I'm hoping that maybe
there was like 2 good ones in there. One was in the pool. I remember there was like a sequence with like the umbrella in the pool.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty good. And then there's like one other one that was like with curtains. Because I remember always being a kid thinking somebody was behind my curtains.
Right.
But yeah, there's probably like 2 good moments. Like 2 real good. Oh, okay.
But fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, it was better than the Nun.
Yeah, Conjuring Devil is I chose 4 of my the ones I'm most looking forward to out of the ones all for this year. And that was my first one that I chose. Like, not that I'm not looking forward to Quiet Place, etc., but Conjuring is the first one that I'm like kind of chomping at the bit.
Gotcha. Well, then what are we can totally do it that way. What is your next one that you're most excited to
Actually,
see?
this might be my number 1. Night House with Rebecca Hall.
Oh, I've seen it.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it at Sundance in 2020. I was like, why do I know this? Why do I know this? I know this one. I know this one. Yes. It's great. It's good.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Super creepy.
Good.
And it goes in some really unexpected directions. I loved it. She's fantastic in it.
She's so good. She loves her little horror too. She did, what was the other one she did? The poster's her kind of just, it's a period piece.
Oh.
The Awakening or the something.
Yeah, I can
Something.
see it, but I don't know it. You think what we're like supposed to know things to be on the show?
What?
What? That's
It was a
crazy.
while ago. And I
That's
feel like I just
crazy.
saw her in something. And was it a horror movie?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, doy.
Yeah.
So yes, kind of. Um,
So yeah.
I like her. So that, and then so Night House, and then yes, I'm looking forward to some other things, but then Halloween Kills because I do like Halloween. I didn't
Yes.
love the reboot. I mean, it was fine. I think I want them to be a little bit more suspenseful, but I just like seeing Michael Myers on screen, so I'm there if it's happening. So I
Gotcha.
am looking forward to see where it goes. And then the last one is Antlers. I'm still waiting to see Antlers.
I saw that one as well.
Come on.
I'm sorry. They did like you know how they do like some like with like temperature screenings where they screen it for like 4 or 5 press people just to kind of
Mhm.
see like, oh, how is this gonna go?
Right.
Funny, not funny story. The day that I
Oh
actually got
God.
into my car accident last year
Hmm.
was me on my way to do a temp screening for Antebellum.
Oh wow.
I should have just known I was cursed at that point. And so not only did I feel bad, I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that I missed this. And now my car is totaled and everything. It was for Antebellum. So I should have just stayed home. Everything would have been
I have to
different.
say, I liked Antebellum. I'm one of the few. I know. I found it interesting because I was like, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I love the use of music. I did figure it out before it happened. I was like, yeah, I
Yeah.
think I know what's happening here. So as soon as
I've
that
seen the
one,
village. I know exactly what's
yeah,
happening.
right. I knew that before I even saw the damn movie. Um, but I did think there was still like a sense of I still felt a release at the end, and I was kind of like cheering inside, and kind of wished I had seen it with a crowd. I don't know. I kind of dug it.
Okay.
I know. I know. Not a lot of people did not. So
Yeah,
I get it.
you're probably hanging out on an island by yourself for a little bit, but that's okay. You know,
Boo,
it's okay.
boo.
I love a lot of garbage movies, so believe me. I never judge anybody for what they like. You know, believe
I
me.
sometimes do. That's my first date question. I'm like, tell me your 5 favorite movies, not best, just 5 favorite, and then I judge accordingly.
Okay.
Not gonna lie. Sometimes I'm like, oof. Like we all have crappy movies we like, or movies that people don't love, and that's fine. But yeah, there's sometimes where you're like, really? Was it going to be that Adam Sandler movie? That's your favorite? Because this might
Hey,
have to
look,
end there.
I like Billy Madison just as much as the rest of the world.
I mean,
So
I could see if it was like I have 50 First Dates is in my top 365 as we're doing on Twitter.
mhm,
But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All
gotcha.
right, so tell me yours.
Yeah, so mine definitely would be Halloween Kills, most likely. Just because I feel like I've been waiting to see that forever. I am a huge fan of Halloween 2018. Actually, I work to it a lot late at night because the score
Nice.
is really fantastic to kind of work to.
Hmm.
So that kind of always sets a mood for me. It's funny. I like to work to It Chapter 1 and Halloween 2018 because they both have really great sort of quieter scores, but like more intense. I don't know how to explain it. So
Interesting.
yeah. So but yeah, so I would say Halloween Kills is probably my most anticipated. I actually somebody sent me 2 scripts for Halloween Kills. I
Oh,
don't know,
really?
and he's not sure which is which.
Oh,
I'm not sure which is which because I think there's doing a little scream passing around the fake scripts or whatever. I I finally, after 3 months, cracked down and started reading one of them. And then as soon as I started reading, I was like, I don't want to read anymore. And I stopped.
yeah.
So because I'm like, I want to know, but do I want to know? I don't know. Like I've been waiting forever. So I feel like I want to know, but then I don't.
You don't.
So,
Read
so
them
I,
after to see what the differences are.
yeah, that one I'm definitely, that's definitely a project I'm going to dig into, but yeah, so that was kind of like, but yeah, I'm super stoked for Halloween Kills. As mentioned, Candyman also.
Yep.
I'm really excited to see what Nia DaCosta did with that movie. Not Jordan Peele, everybody. Nia DaCosta directed the movie. Please, we get it. Your SEO wants Jordan Peele in your headlines, but you could put them both.
I know
Problem solved.
that drives me crazy. People think that Ryan Murphy does every TV show imaginable. I'm like, no, he's a producer. He
Yeah.
didn't do it. And like Nightmare Before Christmas, everyone thinks Tim Burton. directed that movie.
Yeah, that one's tough because Tim Burton created the characters.
Mm,
Because if you did you watch like the holiday movies that made us? It's like that they did like the
I
movie. It was like a spin-off from the movies that made us that's on Netflix. And they only did 2 of them. They did Elf and A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I didn't watch it, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that because I actually didn't really know a lot about Nightmare Before Christmas. And they actually mentioned that the characters were all characters that Tim had created years ago. And he actually hired Henry Selick to direct because they were animation buddies at Disney. So I almost get it because he created the characters. That one I'm a little more forgiving on, but it was nice that for this documentary that they purely focused on Henry.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was really nice because, he did direct a movie. That movie was a really hard thing to create. So, but yeah, so that one I'm a little more forgivable on, but like right now it's like, come on, really?
Right.
Like I get you need Jordan Peele in your headline so everybody will click on it, but like for real, come on.
But we need female directors' names too.
Yes,
out there
exactly.
in the world.
Especially when they're out there directing. And like I said, you just fix the problem by saying produced by, producer Jordan Peele, director Nia DaCosta. That's all you have to do.
Yep.
But whatever.
Perfect.
What do I know?
Nothing
apparently. I would say I'm curious. I don't know if I would say Forever Purge is one of my next super excited, but the Purge movies have been pretty consistent for me overall, except for the first one.
I had issues with the first one. I like the second one better.
Yeah, second one was really great.
Yeah.
And then the first Purge I thought was really interesting and unfortunately very timely right now.
True.
So yeah, it's weird because like, I'm gonna go see Don't Breathe 2, what I called an anticipated movie.
Right.
Not really.
But I'll see it too.
I would say probably anticipated movies would probably be like Nightmare Alley with from Guillermo del Toro.
Oh, is that this year?
I believe it's the end of the year because I think they're going to go Oscars for it.
Okay.
So it's like a prestige genre movie.
Okay.
They figured he did it once. Let's try it again.
Do it again. What is this last? And I should have like jotted it out. Last Night in Soho.
Oh, that is Edgar Wright's movie.
That's right. That's what I knew. Yep. So that's interesting. And then John, what's his face? Who am I thinking of? Who directed Conjuring? James Wan. James Wan.
Malignant.
So I'm curious.
Which I always call Maleficent. Like I have called it Maleficent on multiple occasions. But I'm super stoked for Malignant because I think we're getting American Giallo, which is kind of fun.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm very curious about that, and the cast is good.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. And then what else? I think we got everything. Then there's some weird ones that Netflix is releasing. There's a Fear Street trilogy.
Yes.
Which comes out in summer, and it takes place in 3 different years, 94, 78, and 1666. And 3 different movies, and they're all going to interlink. So for those out there who might be interested, there's that. And then there's Something Inside the House. Let me see who's in it.
Super familiar sounding.
Right? And then there's also a Megan Fox horror movie coming out called Till Death.
Yes. I remember seeing some press on that.
There's something inside.
Because I saw her, like, they snapped some BTS photos of her between shoots or something like that.
Okay, so it's the graduating class at Osborne High is being targeted by a masked assailant intent on exposing the darkest secret of each victim, and only a group of misfit outsiders can stop the killings. So it has like Sydney Park, but somebody was in it that I was like, oh, I know them. But now that I say that, I'm looking and going, no idea who any of these people are.
You know what movie I'm actually pretty excited for? I believe it's limited theaters and VOD, is Seance from Simon Barrett, who generally works with Adam Wingard. That's coming out, I believe, next month. With Suki Waterhouse, who was in, oh my gosh, Assassination Nation.
Yeah. I see it. Suki Waterhouse, Madison B. LRA Smith. Ella Ray Smith. Why does that name sound familiar?
She was in Hobbs and Shaw
Okay.
and on Into the
Oh,
Badlands.
oh yeah. From the creators of Your Next and Orphan.
Yep.
That sounds
So I'm pretty
interesting.
excited for Simon to go out there and start directing, because he's been he's been a great screenwriter for years.
Yeah.
There's nothing to say he can't do both. But yeah, I think that's going to be. I love sort of like, uh, like I don't know what I'm totally blanking on the name, but like prep school, college type horror where it's like set at like some snooty university or something, and like somebody comes in and starts killing people,
Yeah.
like urban legend. Like
Uh-huh.
that's my shit. So I'm pretty excited about that. So, and I think coming from him, it's going to be pretty good. So
Yeah. All right.
yeah, but then that's one of those that's going to probably, once we're in the middle of promoting Saw, that's going to kind of get lost along the way. But that comes out May 21st.
Okay. I'll have to look out
So
for press release stuff on that too.
yes, I'm curious to see if they'll consider Cruella a horror movie. Who knows?
Yeah. Probably not, but
I mean, I'm in, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care, but I just think it's really funny. Yeah, honestly, I think it's like I'm just right now, like I'm excited for everything coming out this year, but I'm just really spinning my wheels till Scream 5 next year. And it sounds stupid, but I'm also like really super excited for Escape Room 2.
Me too.
Okay, cool. Because like I loved Escape Room.
Me too.
And I got to do an interview for Monster Hunter with the production designer who worked on Escape Room. So we got to talk
Oh,
about the
wow.
cubes and
Mhm.
how they really worked in camera. Like that wasn't digital effects.
Huh.
Like he actually built a box that had all those like little springs and triggers and stuff, and that they could control it so it would pop and do all the things it needed to do. And I was like so excited. So, but I'm always excited when somebody else likes Escape Room, because I'm just like, how could you guys have not had fun at this movie?
That's the thing. Like it was completely fun when they kind of hinted at the sequel at the end. I'm like, I'm so down for this. Like it was just an enjoyable movie, and it was, I don't know. My best friend loved it too, and so yeah, I saw that was coming out around the same time as Scream 5,
Yeah.
and I got excited. I was like, oh god.
Yeah, we're starting off 2022 with quite a few movies, because I think we were having Morbius that month too, which
Oh.
is, I guess I'm gonna go watch Jared Leto play a vampire. What else am I gonna do? So, am I gonna not watch a vampire Marvel movie? Come on, like get out of here. You know me.
Right.
So, and yeah, since we were talking about Ryan Reynolds, I'm actually super excited for Free Guy, which I've been watching trailers for like a year and a half now, because it looks so like.
I feel like it's already.
Yeah, I've been watching trailers like forever, so I'm very excited for that.
I will say the first trailer for it, I literally was like, I don't understand this movie. Like I literally didn't get it. I was like, what is happening? And then somebody kind of explained it. I'm like, well, I kind of get it. Then when I saw like more trailers, I was like, all right, got it.
Yeah, you caught up with it.
I
So,
did.
yes, and I mean, let's talk about the fact that he's also able to turn the Hitman's Bodyguard into a franchise to the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Like, okay, I'm there. So
I actually have to see those. I've never seen.
The first one's really fun. I saw it at the drive-in. I think we saw it with one of the John Wicks.
Oh wow.
So that was like a super ridiculous, over the top, action filled night.
Yeah.
But him and Samuel L. Jackson are great together. So yeah, I'm actually really excited. It's weird. Like I'm excited for all the horror stuff, but maybe it's because like we've just been talking about them so long that a lot more of my excitement lies on the other side right now.
Yeah.
Of like all the other movies that I get to go and just watch. And I don't have to do anything about. I get to just go and be like, hey, I'm gonna go watch a movie.
That's
Imagine
true.
that. So,
I gotta review them. Not all of them though. I'm not the only reviewer, so that's good. I just try to grab the horror ones. I try to snatch them quick.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, and there's also Suicide Squad, which is sort of genre-y, I guess, if you think about it, because it's got all kinds of creatures and stuff in it.
True.
It's otherworldliness. Are you at all excited about Dune?
We talked about this.
Yes, you know what? It was when Patrick was on.
Oh, maybe.
Yes.
Or maybe we just talked about it offhand, because sometimes we just talk off camera. Yeah. but I am.
This is real, everybody watching. This is rapport. We work on this.
Yep, 3 weeks ago we forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah.
I do. Yes, I am because I think I love that director. I've liked almost everything he's done. So that gives me kind of confidence that it's going to be amazing. The trailer looked a little bland to me, so I was like, no. And I also remember the original when it came out and how it wasn't good, but I weirdly kind of liked the world that it was in. So
it's got a pug in it, so immediately that's at least 3 stars for me. So
all right, that's good. I like the soundtrack by rock band Toto.
Yes.
So I had that soundtrack, but there's something about it I liked, but I remember watching it going, I don't get it exactly. Like, it was confusing. I was, right out of high school, I think, but or maybe no, I was still in high school. But I am looking forward to it, but I can see, I don't think it's going to be some sort of massive phenomenon hit that they might hope it's going to be.
Yeah, they're banking on it big time. I mean, I'll be there because I have to be. But yeah, let's see how strong the power of Timothy Chalamet really is.
And Zendaya's there too.
Yes,
maybe she'll.
But he's like the one that I mean, everybody's been talking about him like a lot for like 3 years now.
Yeah.
So he's been sort of the it guy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing they could have really done to really ensure it's going to turn into a franchise is throw Tom Holland in there. Right. He just has to have like one line in the whole movie, but everybody's going to show up. So,
Or The Rock. Is The Rock in it? Who's in it?
No, Oscar Isaac is, though.
Jason Momoa is in it, isn't he?
Is he?
I think so.
Oh, well, then now I'm actually excited.
See?
Okay. All right. I guess I'm going to go watch Dune. All right.
I do think by the end of the year, just so I can say this to somebody, after all the great reviews so far for In the Heights, but then we also have West Side Story coming out at the end of the year, and I've heard that it's good, but only from one person. He didn't see it, but he had heard tell because he works in a place that would know. So I feel like we're going to have a duel of musicals for like Oscar stuff, because they're talking about some of the actors should be nominated. So I'm curious to see the battle of the musicals.
Yes. I don't know. I've lived with West Side Story so long that I'm just like, I just want something more interesting from Spielberg. I just don't feel like, I don't know. I miss the guy who was like kind of filled with wonder and sort of pushed things. Like, this just feels so safe for him.
Yep. And I feel like he's done that, like BFG. I'm like, why are you making this movie?
Yeah.
Why? No one's going to go see it. No one cares. You just did a scene of like fart jokes or vomit jokes, something. I don't know. And I was like, it was so beneath him. So I agree, because I don't love West Side Story anyway. It's okay. So when I was like, could you have done a better musical?
I just want to see more versions of Hairspray, I think, is what's wrong with me. So until I'm getting Steven Spielberg's Hairspray, I just don't care. I guess is what
that needs to be a tweet.
Yes.
And then you need to tag him in that.
Yeah.
I just want to see Steven Spielberg's Hairspray.
And then I'm out. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, I love movie musicals, so it's I'll be there.
Yeah.
But
there's that weird Adam Driver one coming out.
Oh yeah.
With Marion Cotillard.
Yes, Cotillard. Yes.
The Holy Motors guy.
Oh God, what is that called? I don't think it's on our list.
It's not, but I just got a trailer for it yesterday.
Oh, I did too. But one movie that is on our list that we didn't mention is I'm excited for a new Resident Evil.
Oh, right. I'm curious. I mean, I'll go.
Yeah. I mean, I am a Paul W.S. Anderson apologist. So, speaking of Mortal Kombat, now we're getting like 2 Paul W.S. Anderson remakes in 1 year, which is kind of me from 20 years ago is just not okay with this. So I'm feeling a little exposed, a little raw about all of this, but I think they're going more traditional though, and going back towards the games, which is fine, because his movies were never about the games. It was about the world of the games, but it wasn't about recreating everything that fans love about them. So
interesting. Yeah.
I think they could exist you know, separately
Mhm.
from each other. So, but yeah, I was like, oh yeah, we're getting that this year. There's a lot
There's a
coming.
lot.
I
Yep,
don't know that I'm ready, but it's coming.
I'm ready. Annette is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm curious as to what kind of musical. I feel like there's another musical coming out. Oh, they still haven't released everyone's talking about Jamie, but the kid who wants to become a drag queen, and he's like a 16-year-old
Oh
in
yeah.
London. I saw the musical in Britain or in London, and it's really good. So, and then I had no idea it was becoming a musical until I saw the trailer. And I was
Oh,
like,
interesting.
when did this happen? But it was supposed to
Oh,
come out in February, and then they delayed it. So I'm curious as to when they're actually going to release it.
oh, which studio is that?
It is. Oh, I feel like it's Fox. So I feel like it might. I was like, would they put it on Hulu or Disney Plus? It's a
Good
little probably
question.
too racy for Disney Plus. I mean, it's not racy, but you know, it's probably not what they want to do. Everyone's talking about why does. Am I doing the name wrong? Everyone's talking about Benji. That came up.
Oh, that
Oh,
literally it came up.
everybody's
Everybody's talking.
got it. Yeah, there it is. And it's the 2021. Um, is it Searchlight? 20th Century, the first Regency Enterprises film to be released under the 20th Century Studios banner. So
Mm,
Disney has it.
okay.
So I'm curious. I feel like Disney Plus should just have an offshoot that's like all the Fox stuff.
Well, they do in the UK. The UK, all the stuff, all of Fox's stuff is there.
Really?
Yeah. And I think we're starting to see a little bit more.
Yeah, but I mean, what are they going to do with the R-rated stuff?
I mean, Predator is on Disney Plus in the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
But not here. Huh.
Yeah. That's weird.
But are they pushing it to Hulu? I wonder because they own Hulu, right?
I think they do. Yeah. I'm not sure.
I'm
I
wondering if
don't,
they're pushing everything there instead. But I feel like they should have. I want to see a 20th Century Fox like app or something because I know what's in their kind of past and I want to go peruse them. But
yes. Somebody needs to put speed on streaming.
yeah. Oh, it's not
No, I don't think it
Speed.
is. Yeah.
They just played that somewhere. One of the drive-in pop-up things.
Um,
Sinespi, I think, and the one at the Greek. I
oh,
didn't get
really?
to
I
see.
missed that. Oh,
Yeah,
that is for
had I
shame.
known, I would have told you.
Oh, I didn't know. I would have been there. So I saw that in theaters.
Hairspray is coming too, but it's not the musical.
Oh, is it the John Waters one?
It's the John Waters one.
Okay. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because there's only the two. Unless we're going to talk about the TV special, which we don't.
No, that's
That
not.
actually, that TV special wasn't that bad. It was way better than Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
That
I
was.
couldn't get through that one.
I literally have one tattoo, and it's Rocky Horror. And I was like, all right, I'm in. Give it to me, Laverne Cox. And I was like 5 minutes into that thing, and I was like, oh my god, this is the worst thing ever. So anyway, nobody watched that, but there's plenty of other fun things you get to watch this year. So I think that kind of brings us to our conclusion of
I like how we're like, we're horrifically horrifying. Let's talk about musicals.
yeah. There's plenty of horror musicals out there. We could totally do a musical
There
episode.
are.
Have
I'm a
you?
big fan of
Because
Anna and the Apocalypse.
yes, because
One of my
also
all-time faves.
I think one of your earliest homework assignments was watching Phantom of the Paradise.
And I still have not.
Yeah, so that needs to be fixed. Trust
Okay.
me, you are going to be so grateful when you're done with it, and you're going to be like, I don't understand how I never watched this movie before, because that's how I felt.
Okay.
Yes, just
All right,
saying.
I'm excited.
Yes.
I'm
So
excited.
anyway, everybody go watch Phantom of the Paradise. You know, if you're not going to go watch movies in theaters, you watch Phantom of the Paradise, I guess is what we're saying. Anyway, yes, tons of great movies to look forward to this year. I'm sure we'll be talking about more of them in depth as they start rolling out, which will be exciting. And yeah, I think that's about it till next week.
All right.
So, all right. Well, we'll see you guys
Bye.
next
Thanks
week.
for watching.
Thanks, everybody.